It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Thank you so much for joining us for what has been an unbelievably inspiring day. It is Mandela Day, and hopefully you are living that legacy today for your 67 minutes and beyond every day this year. Now, well-known explorers, and I use that lightly, probably the most famous explorer ever, and of course, a Land Rover ambassador, Kingsley and Ross Holgate, would embark on their next world-first humanitarian and geographic expedition later today, of course, being Mandela Day, from Nobel Square at the V&A Waterfront. Destination? Kathmandu, an incredibly exciting journey, and we welcome Kingsley and Ross Holgate and Lisa Mallet, the marketing director of Jaguar, Land Rover South Africa and Sub-Saharan Africa. Kingsley, great to have you back.
Yeah, lovely to be here this morning in Cape Town. Not a place we often come to, and we're here for a really good reason. So.
I love it. Ross, thank you so much for joining us. Lisa, thank you so much for joining us. I mean, you guys have probably the best jobs in the world, if you can even call it a job. Lisa, I think you must have a pretty cool job as well. But a massive year for Land Rover. Why is this year so special? Why are you going to this degree to give the brand the platform that you are?
So this year is a really special year for Land Rover because we celebrate 70 years of a truly special brand. And we're doing it this year by giving back. We're celebrating the 70 years by giving back in two ways. The one is Land Rover Hope Boxes, which is a project we've got with the Red Cross Societies. We've got collection points at all of our retailers, collecting non-perishable goods to distribute within the local communities. But then, of course, the reason that we're here today is obviously our long-standing association with the Kingsley Holgate Foundation, and today being so special, sending them off to Kathmandu.
So, Ross, maybe you can set the scene. First of all, I assume you are crazy for taking on these adventures that you do, but this has got probably underpinning it one of the coolest causes. What's the motivation and what is the achievement? All I know is Kathmandu.
No, that's a lovely sounding name, Kathmandu.
Yeah, I know.
You say it like it. So I'm getting excited at the thought of it. But you know, we're all about using adventure, the great stories of adventure, to save and improve lives. So that's the sort of main theme. Yes, it's a great adventure, it's a great story. We're going above and beyond the sort of African calling, and we're taking the message and the solidarity of the good work that we do into a completely different land of Asia, places like Afghanistan, Pakistan, Uzbekistan, you know, places that we've never ever been to. So it's going to be very exciting. But we're going to continue with the incredible Land Rover initiatives of malaria prevention, of water purification, and right to sight, the distribution of spectacles to the poor-sighted.
Kings, I know we've connected over malaria, and I think partnering with a brand like Land Rover, of course, to do these things, you need to be able to get there. You need a vehicle that can actually handle that kind of terrain. But why is it so important for you? I always thought of you as an adventurer. I think now more as a humanitarian. Why do you use your platform on Mandela Day, any day, to be able to promote these causes like you do through your foundation and beyond?
It came from necessity. You know, we didn't wake up one morning and think, you know, malaria would be a cool thing to fight. But, you know, when one experiences these difficulties oneself, I've had malaria more than 50 times, for example. And
wow.
So we started off by, just of our own accord, distributing mosquito nets to pregnant mums and to mums with kids under the age of 5 because, you know, they are the most vulnerable. But it came about because we'd suffered so much. And, you know, it's like a stab to the heart when you get to a village and a mother's dying, a child 100 kilometers from the nearest clinic, and you think that you can do something using these great, you know, energy's got there's a lot of energy around adventures. You know, you got the tires and the roof racks and the kit and the landies. But how lovely to share that energy around and do some good. So malaria work, we've done hundreds of thousands of mosquito nets to as I said, to pregnant mums and mums with kids under 5. And then there's the right to sight. You know, something we so take for granted. You walk into a pharmacy, buy a pair of specs. Wow, I can, you know, see it.
Two grand contact lenses.
Yeah, so, you know, and it's so lovely. And that we've done close to 150,000 pairs. Wow. So, you know, the other day I was with the fellow. He had one leg in the homemade crutch. And I said, what happened? He said, tractor ran on me, can no longer farm. I started to become a cobbler fixing shoes. And then I said, well, no, I couldn't see the needle and the thread. We did a quick eye test. It was a 2.75. He called his little grandson, came running across the road with a half-finished shoe. And then he started working again. So for a really small fee, you know, you give a love. So it's all, and then a water purification. So really good stuff. And very important that we're kicking off on this expedition on Mandela Day. That's really important to all of us. You see that calabash in front of you there? That's going to be filled at the waterfront at 9:30 this morning at the Nobel Square. The scroll of peace and goodwill. You see Madiba Day there and thousands of well-wishers that take messages of peace and goodwill across Africa. Every exhibition has its own scroll. We've got them piled up. But it's all about using this great energy to do good.
Creating a legacy. And I think there is something, maybe this word keeps coming up, and Lisa, I can put this to you, authenticity. You have an amazing brand. You have an amazing product. All of this is great, but there is something far deeper, hope crossing any terrain. What is this, and I always ask from a personal perspective, because we know the brand, but what does this mean to you as someone who works for Land Rover, being able to plug into something as amazing as this?
Yeah, hope crosses any terrain is a single idea, almost an umbrella concept that covers sort of the humanitarian and conservation work that we do, through Land Rover, where our vehicles enable this kind of work to happen. And it's really days like today where, you love what you do and you feel so proud of what you can do. And yes, our cars are beautiful, but the fact of the matter is they can also travel thousands of kilometers. Last year, the guys went to war-torn Somalia, traveled 12,000 kilometers and back in a new discovery. Many people don't think it can do that. So that's great. Those proof points within the vehicles is great. It's great for me, obviously, from a marketing point of view, but also just the giving back. I mean, the guys are quite modest about, how many lives they have saved and improved. And, if you look at the numbers just over the last 4 or 5 years, they've impacted almost 1.5 million lives with the mosquito nets, life straws, and spectacles that they've distributed. And this expedition will add about another 130,000 people will be impacted and affected positively through the great work that they do. So it really does prove that hope can cross any terrain and go on these long journeys.
I've got so many things going through my mind. I might live the most boring life in the world compared to you guys, but it is inspiring. We live in a global village now, and I think it's important more now than ever before to spread the kind of message that you are as a brand, as human beings, as adventurers, as South Africans. Absolutely love this, so thank you so much, and please stay safe. 50 times, that's too many times to have malaria. Please, Kingsley, we absolutely love you guys. Thank you so much for doing this, and good luck, guys. All the best of luck.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.